I was to say the Old West, what would come to mind? Cowboys, Indians, railroads, gunfights, cattle drives, UFOs. The beauty of the desert is it's so open. You can see for miles and miles, and at night, with very little light pollution, the sky is incredible. Now imagine it was 150 years ago what you could have seen. You might just be surprised. Beginning in the late 1800s, cowboys and others in the West began to report a strange phenomenon. UFOs, or what was more properly described in the newspapers of the time as mystery airships. Seen operating mostly at night, they were described as looking like all-metal flying machines, often with electric lights or bright lanterns attached, and were supposedly capable of tremendous speeds and distances, at least for the technology of the time. Although many of the actual accounts were sober recollections of strange lights and objects, the newspapers painted the phenomenon in familiar colors, carrying fabulous stories of airborne champagne parties, Martian fugitives, and secret mad inventors and scientists who could only test their new craft under cover of night. The machines themselves often came in various sizes and types. Some were portrayed as metallic dirigibles, or what we would later call zeppelins. Others had Da Vinci-like flapping wings and giant propellers, but all carried bright lights and strange electric devices. They seemed to be a mixture of current available technology, but mixed with real science not to be seen for decades to come. And while most people dismissed the whole thing as a case of hoaxing or pranking, many swore the unidentified flying objects were most certainly a real phenomenon. Now you got to remember, we did have flight at this time, or at least man was going up in balloons since the late 1790s, but these were always tethered to the ground. It wasn't powered flight as we know it, and certainly nothing with electronic devices or lights running on it. So who were these mystery pilots? With the majority of accounts where people actually claimed contact with the pilots, the answer was surprisingly terrestrial. Mad scientists, secret inventors, and backyard hobbyists. Like Jules Verne's brilliant Captain Nemo from his 1870 sci-fi classic 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, they built incredibly advanced machines in secret in order to further their own mysterious agenda, or to sell to the military. Some were obvious and actual cranks, like this former Secretary of the Supreme Court, H.C. Finkler, who told the papers he was building an airship in his attic, and it contained a mysterious new source of propulsion that he could not divulge. But others were nameless men in the night, who told witnesses they hoped to sell their inventions to the highest bidder, before climbing back aboard and flying off. And what about the alien or extraterrestrial angle? Some did claim to be from Mars, but looked completely human. Writers of the day even tried to make the Martian connection by posting bizarre articles like this one, in which Thomas Edison himself gets in on the act by conquering Mars with an army of his own electric airships. The reports pretty much continued up until about 1909, when the Wright brothers proved powered flight was possible in a machine they too had built in their backyard. Undoubtedly, many of these stories are hoaxes and pranks, but there's enough material there to make you wonder what people were seeing, or thought they were seeing, and does it mirror anything that's going on today? I find it most interesting that the mad scientist or inventor of the old contactee stories, along with his crude airship, has now seemingly morphed into the alien and interdimensional being of our modern times, along with their accompanying futuristic technology. Is there a message or emerging pattern here yet to be understood? We can only wait and see. I'm ML Behrman. I'll see you next time. Hey guys, ML Behrman here. I'd like to thank you for watching and also invite you to subscribe to this channel. And if you would, hit the like button. It really does help. Thanks.